Hello, my beautiful soul tribe, and welcome to another episode of No Coincidences podcast. I am your host, Cristina, Witchy, and as always, I'm so excited to be here with y'all. This is my favorite day of the week. I hope that you are so excited about who I'm going to introduce you to tonight. This man I met on TikTok through actually one of the co-owners of Elevate Souls Productions recruited him for to be a creator with our live creator network that we have on TikTok. And this man is so amazing. He's so inspirational. We can call him a wizard, an alchemist, an energy worker. There are so many names for a person like him, but he goes live on TikTok almost every day of the week. He does things like the chakra shake, and he brings it down, and he does meditations, and he's just so amazing. His name is Gary. He goes by Gaiasalchemist on all social medias. And I want to bring him up here on the stage so all of you can get to know him. So please help me, family, in welcoming Gary to the No Coincidences podcast. Hi, Gary.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm so excited about this. This is the first time you and I have got to sit on a screen together, even though you've been with our family for several months now.
Yeah.
My family is used to me bringing spiritual people on here, people who do UFOs and cryptids. And I mean, I really do talk to everybody. So I'm pretty sure none of my YouTube family knows you. So can you let them know what you are and what you do?
Oh boy, what am I? Okay, I get asked that question so many times. Like, who are you? It's like, and I think the easiest way that I explain it is that I'm a being having a perfectly imperfect human experience.
Yes.
And no matter the origins of where I come from or whatever, it's all about where I am right now. And staying in this essence of being presence. So being present for me is the absolute key of everything,
Right.
And I said last night in the live, I said there's two things that don't exist: yesterday's and tomorrow's. The only thing that exists is right now. So, if I go into a background and if I go into the depth of that background, I've done pretty much anything and everything in my life. Anything and everything in my life. I've experienced working with my hands as much as, little tiny details to, all sorts of creativity to working in high tech to where I am right now. And, where I am right now is where I've always been, is connected to Mother Earth. And, we can go into all different ideologies of what people think the Earth is. And I just like, you know what? I speak to her. She speaks to me. Okay. I work with plant medicines. I work with, I acknowledge crystals. I acknowledge the skies. I acknowledge everything that is tangible before me, what I see with my eyes, not with, the programs and the ideologies and, you should believe this and you should be like this. And, bottom line is I'm a radical anti-conformist. I do not conform to anything other than what I decide.
Right.
There's a philosophy or a phrase. We say, free your spirit. So free your spirit, dance with life.
Right.
Rather than a lot say, well, life, my life is miserable. No, life is not miserable. Our choices are. The choices that we make create that misery or create that success. And when we understand that life doesn't wait for us, everything around us is expanding. Everything around us is evolving. Okay. Mm-hmm. You're not the same person you were a second ago.
No.
It's like, it's impossible. Your movement has changed. So we want to go down to the simplicity of it. You are constantly evolving.
Right.
And so I work with, if you want to say in the ways, I'm working with the ebb and flow of evolution. As everything is evolving around me, I'm keeping myself as close to that presence as possible. We all go through our trials and challenges in life. And, I haven't been any of the shortness of that. I've seen more challenges and probably, I'm not going to compare myself. Sometimes I might drift into that. But I know what I've seen. I know what I've been through. I know the challenges, the betrayals, the hurts, what it is to come to a point where I'm broken and just don't want to be here. Okay. And I've tried that. Didn't work. Creator said, Sorry, you're eating down here, and I'm going like, I already
Right.
said, no, 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 not here. I am. Okay, so
Right.
it, in the throat of what I could say is that there's another saying says, jack of all trades, master of none, but better than one. We always forget the third part of that phrase. We've shortened it down to the two parts.
Right.
Today, a lot of people go, it's like shortened, instant gratification. The world owes me something. Excuse me, the world owes you nothing. You go,
Yeah.
you owe it to yourself to open your mind, for one, okay? Open your eyesight so you can see with eyes wide open rather than eyes wide shut.
Right.
And when you see with eyes wide open, the heart sees. And,
Yes.
now see, and there goes my emotions. Okay, and
That's
okay,
the human experience, Gary. That
yeah,
is what Earth is for. This is our school for emotions.
it's and I've always said this, like I accept my vulnerability. That's the one thing.
Right.
Okay. And my vulnerability is not a weakness. It's actually a superpower.
Yeah.
It's a very, very powerful superpower.
Yeah,
Okay.
it really
My,
is. And it takes a lot of courage and a lot of growth for humans in general to learn to be vulnerable. So the fact that you're
especially
even
for men.
saying that, that part, like I'm such a huge advocate for men's mental health, and you sitting here on a global platform saying I'm vulnerable and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
That helps with evolution in itself.
Yeah. That, if we get into that and we look at, and I don't want to take one side over the other side, but as a man, okay,
Right.
let me check. Yeah.
Yeah, last I
Yeah.
checked, I'm a woman today,
Yeah,
so we're good.
last time I checked, it's like, yeah, I'm a man. It's like, excuse me, it's all there as far as I
Right.
know. Okay, and you know, I've grown through 6 decades. Okay, so that's 63 cycles around the sun, 6 decades. Okay,
Mhm.
and coming from a small town Western ideology and the redneck, and I'll call it out for what it was. Rednecked. It's like, I'm the macho guy. I'm the big.
Right.
This is what a man is. Okay, no, that's not what a man is. No, 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 no. Strength is
Not
not
at
what a
all.
man is.
Right.
Okay, vulnerability, emotional engagement, emotional acceptance allows us to step into our authenticity. And when we step into our authenticity, and you have that backbone, and that backbone is that there's my boundary. Like, me, I'm a no bullshit type person. Okay, you throw
Exactly.
bullshit at me, I'm gonna call it out. Okay,
Exactly.
and there's gonna be a dragon fire that's gonna come out, and people say, "Well, you believe in dragons?" Oh yeah, I believe in fucking dragons. Watch me. Okay, watch me fire up. Okay, and it's also about understanding how to use that. In my youth,
Yeah.
anger was like, okay. And my mother, God rest her soul, would say the same thing. She says, when you fire up, she says, I can see it in your eyes. And she said,
Right.
you have to be careful. Okay. And I didn't really understand what she meant a lot by that, because I just, my emotions flow. Like,
Exactly.
if I feel to cry, I cry. And believe me, I can cry a storm. Okay.
Mhm.
And I don't think there hasn't been a day, in 63 years that I haven't had a tear of some sort. It can be a tear of happiness,
Right.
a tear of sadness. It can be a tear if I see a child, they
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
it's
No,
just
I get
even
that.
thinking about children, it's like
The
it's
innocence that's with them, and the way that they're able to be molded, and just like I'm going to tell you, you bring up children. Yeah, you already know my little girl. She's 5 years old, and she's the light of my life, and she just does things all day, every day that I'm just like, your little mind thought of that. I went. She's been here with me for a couple weeks, and she's at her dad's house right now. And I went to go take a bath earlier, and we have like a little. It's like a little soap tray, right? But the soap tray looks like a bathtub. And she had one of her little Barbie dolls in it, tucked in, with a blanket on it.
really.
And it brought a tear to my eye. I was like, my daughter is 5 years old. She's so compassionate. She made sure that Skipper was not cold while she got left out in the bathtub.
See the
love
memory
it.
that comes in that is the inner child.
Yeah.
Our inner child is playful and joyful and,
Mhm.
innocent and, wants to explore. And, as a child, we were like this. Some will
Yeah.
say, I don't remember that. No, it's there. It's there.
Right.
Okay. From the moment you dropped out of that womb, okay,
Mhm.
there was the exploration. The first exploration was, oh, it's cold here.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like, oh, what's this diaper thing? And it's like, you know what? Excuse me, this doesn't feel right. Okay. And how many times as a child you ripped that diaper off? I can guarantee you every child has done this. It's ripped off it's like, let it go. Okay. And, so this innocence of our inner child is this ability that holds our highest potential.
Yeah.
That's the key to the inner child, is that the highest potential, that intuitiveness, comes from that inner child.
Yeah.
And you know, and here I go again. Okay, it's like,
Mhm.
okay, here goes my emotions, and it's this ability to just like sit in this, sit in that emotion.
Yeah.
And when we sit in this emotion, we allow it to flow, to be free,
Right.
versus pushing it down. Like, talking about men, this is what men do. We push
Right.
down that because we've been told, "Don't cry.
Exactly.
Don't show this. No, that's being weak. If you cry, you're weak. If you go pouting in the corner, you're weak. So, man up." This whole thing, man up, man up, man up. Like, you know what?
Yeah.
Fuck that. Excuse me.
No, you're fine. I mean,
Okay, as
that's the
long as we
part
don't get,
that's the
as long as we don't,
emotional part, right?
as long as we don't get censored. It was like, okay, yes. But honestly, it's a word that's actually in the dictionary, and it doesn't mean what a lot of people think it means. Okay, it actually is a word of strength. It's a
Yeah.
word of absolute powered strength, because it's not pulling out the fluff.
Right.
Let's fluff up the story. Okay, here we
Right.
go.
Yep.
Like, hold on a second. No, you're wasting my time. It's like, I don't have time to waste. It's like, poof, here it is. So,
Yeah.
that bluntness that comes out of me at times, some will say, Gary, you're angry. No, I'm not angry. You don't want to see me angry. I don't want to see me
Exactly.
angry, because I know what it's like when I get angry. You don't want to see me
That's how
angry.
I am too. Like, if it happens, like, please clear the room, clear the house, clear the
Oh,
town
you
because,
better get out
this
of my.
bomb is going.
Oh yeah, you better get out of my way, because I don't. Size doesn't matter when that white rage comes in.
Yeah.
That moment where it crosses over, you don't see anything.
Yeah.
You see nothing. You are just like, boom. It's a destructive path, and that's where that fire of a dragon. We want to look at the fire of the dragon. That's where it comes up.
Yeah.
Okay. And, going back to what my mother would say, it was like, she would say, like, son, you got to be careful with your words as well. She says, you have the tongue of the devil. I'm going, like, hold on a minute. Okay, what do you mean I have the tongue of the devil? She says, because you will say things that, she said, I don't know where that comes from. I
Mm.
said, well, I don't know where it comes from either. All I know is it's flowing.
Right.
Okay. And so it'll go right to the core, and it'll say something that I'll guarantee you won't forget. Okay.
Yeah.
You may think you forgot it, but it's subconsciously, it's still there.
Yep.
Okay. It's still because it is so sharp. It is just like, it's boom. It's right there.
Yep.
Okay. You want to ignore it? Fine. Doesn't belong to me. That's the other story. And this is, coming back to, the essence of man. I know I'm going around in circles here a little bit, but coming back to talking about men in today's world, where are they? Like, somebody says, well, I want a man in my life. Okay. Define what a man is. What is a man?
You know,
The sacred
everybody
provider?
has everybody has their own opinion of it, but when you look at a societal norm, a man is someone who, like, they take care of their family, they're financially stable, they make sure that the bills get paid, all this stuff. The woman is the caretaker. But to me, I'm going to tell you my personal opinion is we all have feminine, we all have masculine, and within the
Mm-hmm.
relationship, you both have to learn how to live within that duality
Yep.
so that you can, exactly what you're talking about, flow with the emotions and continue to grow through your relationship. That's how you get to have someone where you can grow old with, is that you
Yep.
both can live within your masculine and feminine. So if I'm having a masculine day, my husband better be able to, hey, let's wear the panties for the day, so to speak, because Christina, she's laying it down right now. But then if I come in and I'm like, oh, he's having a masculine moment. Hey, baby, let me go ahead and I'll wear the panties now. Like, you know what I mean? And I think that that's what makes a relationship work, is being able to have that duality. It's not about, you know, I mean, yes, of course you want to be attracted to each other, but it's not about how you're attracted to each other, how the sex life is, or if he's bringing home the most money, or if he's making sure the bills are paid, or if she's making sure the food's cooked when he gets home, she's making sure the kid, like, that's not what it's about. It's
Mhm.
literally about understanding that you are one.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
both are masculine
Yeah.
and feminine, and
Yeah.
aligning with each other.
Yeah. We can call it yin and yang. We can call it black
Yeah.
and white. Okay, the duality. That
Yeah.
duality. And in fact, this is where a lot of people misconceive what a soulmate is. A soulmate
Yes.
is you.
Yes.
You're mated to your soul in the balance between the feminine and the masculine. I wear
Yes.
pink. People say, "Well, men don't wear pink." You know what? Fuck you. I wear pink. I will
My
wear
daughter
all
hates pink.
sorts.
She's a
I wear
girl.
I wear flowers. I'll wear whatever I want to wear because
Right.
I'm okay with myself. I'm okay with whatever. If I want to wear something soft and silky, like why should I be like, well, men are supposed to wear, the chaffing jeans and excuse the expression, well, your private jewels get all chaffed up because it's, you got to wear the hard, rigid materials. It's like, excuse me. Okay, you know what? I like softness.
Right.
I like softness. I like silkiness. You know,
Right.
I don't want to be roughed up. Excuse me. If I want to
Right.
be roughed up, I'll go out in the wilderness and I'll rough it. Okay. But
Exactly.
if I decide to choose something that's soft and flowy and flowery and it's silky, why are you going to have judgment upon me because I decide to do that? And I grew up with that judgment. I grew up with bullying because I had that feminine side of me. In French we say coquette. It's like dolte. It's like I want to take
Mhm.
care of myself. And it's like I'm soft. I'm not like fuck. Here's a piece of sandpaper and scrub the hell out of my skin. It's like no, that
Right.
hurts. Like why should I do that? Okay,
Right.
and this is the core of understanding oneness. Oneness is bringing myself back to me, seeing that I have that feminine side, which is my tenderness, my kindness, my nurturer. And then I have my masculine side. My masculine side is my fire, my strength, my root, and I'm grounded. I'm firmly here. Okay.
Yes.
And I can expand on that into, I know we mentioned dragons a little bit, so I'm going to throw something at us. I know we're going all over the place
It's
here. Okay.
okay.
That's,
My
that's just,
audience keeps up. They're
that's
great.
I go all over. It's like, okay, and then bring me back. Say, excuse me,
I'm
Gary,
not
could
gonna
you
lie,
come
I
back?
would love to see what your audience is saying on TikTok right now. Like, I feel like I should be going and switching between the two pages.
You know what? It is what it is. It keeps it focused because now I'm not really looking at the comments. Like
Right.
that's one thing I find is like I see every one of those comments. Believe me,
Mhm.
and it's and then some will say, well, you didn't acknowledge me. Well, sorry, I'm not going to validate you.
Right.
If I catch your comment and I decide to respond to it, that's
Right.
my free will, and I will respond to it. So please don't feel that I'm ignoring you. It's like, excuse me.
That's right.
Like, you know what? Do you want me to hold your hand? Okay.
And for those of y'all that are watching on TikTok, I want y'all to know that this podcast is actually going out on about 5 or 6 different TikToks. We're on like 4 different YouTube channels. We're on Facebook and we're on Twitter. We're all over the place right now. So if your comments don't get seen, please don't be offended. We are here to enjoy a conversation with Gary and find out about him tonight. We love each and every one of you, and we do see you. It's just we only get a certain amount of time. So make sure
Yeah,
you're
it's
still
just
liking, subscribing, tapping, doing all the things on whatever platform you're on.
yeah, just enjoy the show. It's just like
Right.
what? It's just like it's nice. Like when I get into my own feed, yeah, it's like okay, I try to pay attention to as many people as possible because
Right.
that's what it is. I mean, the Heartfire Chronicles is a community. It's not about me.
Yes.
Okay, a lot of
That's
people
right.
think, oh, okay, it's about you. It's about your ego. Let me make something fucking clear. Okay, is that ego is an earth-generated operating system. And when you get rid of your ego and you understand that you have a backbone and you stand
Mhm.
strong and firm to yourself, don't think that that's ego. No,
Right.
this is who I am. And there is no perception by anybody in the world that is going to change who I am.
Yeah.
That is point. So if I come up and I'm, a little bit more stoic and a little bit more in my volume, I'm not angry. No, I'm firm. That's it.
Exactly.
Okay, there's no wishy-washy. It's like, this is who I
And
am. You don't like me?
I
And
personally, yeah, I live the same way, right? Like I know who I am. And so when I'm passionate about something, I'm very into it. And I feel like a lot of people take people like us as harsh, or, they take it as, I'm trying to think of a nice way to put it. Like they just think of us as brutal
call it
and
out
like
for
that we
what it
don't
is.
have any
Just not be
emotions, or
nice.
like,
Don't be nice
yeah,
about it. Just call it out for what it is. It's
they
like,
think that we have right. They think we have no emotions. They think that we're brutal, that we don't care about them, we don't care about their emotions. But
yeah,
in fact, what it is that we're so passionate about what we're trying to do, about how we're trying to change humanity, and how we're trying to bring spirituality to the forefront, and how we're like what we're in. It's a spiritual warfare out here, guys.
oh yeah. And so,
And if you can't stand firm and solid with your backbone, you're going to maybe lose the battle. I mean, obviously we're going to win the war, but
yeah,
because there's a whole world of us. But the fact of the matter is that you have to know who you are. You have to know what you stand for, and you have to
yeah,
stand on it. And if you
yeah.
can't do that, then you're going to get washed out.
Yeah, yeah, like, it's quite simple. What do you want me to go down a super highway of 12 lanes of traffic and follow everybody going the same fucking direction? Excuse me, no. The
Yeah,
unknown path. Oh, wait a minute. I'm gonna take that side route. You guys keep going this way. I'm going this way. Okay? It's above finding, first off, your flow. Okay? What is your flow? What is your passion? Okay? What is passion? Well,
right.
step it back into having compassion. Compassion is common passion, which develops creativity. So if I have compassion for myself, I develop passion. And from passion, I develop a creativeness, a
Right.
flowing. Okay. And I'm not confined by, well, this is the only way to do it. No, excuse me. I tried it that way. Didn't work for me. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to give up. I'm stubborn enough. I'm not going to. I'll find a way to make it work. Okay. It's like somebody saying, "Well, here's the pipe wrench to do this." Excuse me. Well, I don't have a pipe wrench, but I still have to do this. So, is there another way to do this? Keep trying.
Yeah.
Keep trying. Okay. And I learned this, from my grandfather. My grandfather had 50 hectares of wheat land, and he had three tools: ball peen hammer, something that looked like a
Hmm.
big set of forceps, and this long screwdriver with a wooden handle. That Massey
Right.
Ferguson wouldn't kick up, crank it, crank it, crank it, and you could see him getting flustered. Okay, he'd go in the house, he'd come out with this little glass of what looked like clear water and put that into the carb moonshine. Okay, put it
Yep.
in there. Take that ball peen hammer and he'd whack this fucking thing. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, and then he'd crank it and there it went. And you would say, if you want to know what's going on with that motor, he said, watch. You take that screwdriver, the wooden handle, put it to
Hmm.
his ear, and put the metal part to the motor. And you go say, there. Oh, valve needs an adjustment.
Hmm.
Okay, try and do that with a car today. You can't figure it out.
No.
Okay,
Mm-mm. You
well,
have to have a computer to read the
yeah,
computer.
and even then, it's still, it's
Yeah.
like all this gadgetry
Yeah.
versus old school. And
Yeah.
and when somebody says to me, "Well, Gary, that's old fashioned." What the fuck's old fashioned? Really, it worked.
Yeah.
It worked. You want the quick result. It's like give me instant gratification, and then you don't learn anything.
Yeah.
Okay, sometimes that forcefulness to keep at it allows you to develop other skill sets. It opens up the mind. It opens up the ability to says, you know what, I can do this, rather than being told I
Yeah.
can't do this. Okay, and if you've tried it a million times and you still don't succeed, at least you've got the knowledge of it. even though that you weren't able to maybe have the outcome that is desirable,
Right.
but you still arrived at something. Okay. You arrived at a knowing that
Mhm.
became knowledge, and now wisdom. What is wisdom? Okay. I had a conversation with somebody about that today. What is wisdom? Wisdom is all of the knowings that became knowledges, and now you put it into practice.
Yeah.
You practice what you've come to know, the knowledge that you've gained, and now it
Mhm.
allows me to use that wisdom. Versus
Exactly.
many people read all the books, know all the words, but don't practice the wisdom.
Yeah.
Okay. And I see this quite a bit in today's world. And especially I know we're going to get into a touchy subject here. Okay. But the this like the world owes me something. Okay. I can
Yeah.
Google it. Okay. I got the answer. Okay, you do. Let's turn that telephone off. I'm going to drop you into the middle of a forest and say, there you go. Are you going to survive? Are you gonna
I will.
know how to survive? You
I
probably
will.
will, and I know a number of people that will, but I know a number of people that won't because they don't know how to forage. They don't know
Mhm.
how to use their internal compass. They don't even know that, hey, oh, by the way, you know the moss on that one side of the tree? If you look at that, you'll be able to find, a north
Right.
direction versus, okay, panic. Okay, and then like, do you know how to make a fire? Excuse me, there's no corner store in the forest. Okay,
Sorry, you
you're not
can't
gonna
get the
find a
lighter.
Walmart. Yeah, you're not gonna find a Walmart. Okay, it's like you better. So survival
Yeah.
skills, skill
You know,
sets.
you bring that up, and I'm like, oh man, I haven't been in the military in 20 years. I'm kind of aging myself right now. And look, Lori was over in the comments talking about age and how it's beautiful, this and that. I'm aging myself by saying I haven't been in the military in 20 years. But when we were in the military, we had to learn land nap. We had to learn how to forage and be out there in the wild and take care of things. And if we're out in war, which I went to Iraq, we were out there. If stuff broke down, you had to be able to take care of yourself. You had to be able to do all these things. And I see people now in the military, and I'm like, man, y'all got it easy. They give you GPSs, they give you computers to take with you, they give you all the, I'm like, if I handed you a land nav map right now, would you know what it meant? And would you know what all the terrains looked like? And like, would you know what all this is? And I'm like, it's amazing how, even though these are our basics, that if all of this technology went away, how many people wouldn't know it? And these are people who are highly skilled, highly trained. They're trained to go out and unalive and take care of things. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah, you shut the internet down today, and
yeah,
you're gonna see a mass panic. You're
right,
gonna see people that are so used to using a GPS, they're going like, I don't know where I am. I don't know where I'm going. It's like, excuse me, I can't order my skip the dishes meal. It's like,
right,
it's excuse me.
yeah. I love my daughter. So my daughter, her, bless her dad, I love him to death too. He's very urban. We're gonna call him. He likes living in the city. He likes having his house real close to his next door neighbor, and all
In a
all the good
box.
stuff. Yeah, yeah. And so when she's at his house, she knows like I have a TV in my own room, and I stay in the house and I play, and I have a little backyard I can go play in. She comes over to here to my house. Like literally, my dad left for a couple hours the other day. He walks back in the front door. She goes, "Papa, did you get the deer? Are we gonna have deer for dinner?" Like she knows. She knows. We live in the country. We taking care of stuff over here. We're feeding ourselves. We're doing the damn thing, okay? And she knows if you want something done around here, you better do it yourself. You're gonna walk a half a mile to go down to the mailbox. You're gonna
Yeah,
like she knows, and she's 5.
yeah.
She gets it.
Like and I've had so many experiences in life that helped me understand that. I mean, I remember um, about just close to 30 years ago, I took a trip to the Ukraine. Okay,
Yeah,
and getting there and seeing it after it's been war torn and
yeah,
it's been ripped apart. But the
yeah.
people, the resilience of the people on the street.
It's
Oh
astounding.
my God.
Yeah,
Okay. You weren't seeing somebody on the corner peddling crap. You were seeing somebody on the corner exchanging books and not
yeah,
romance stories. No, medical dictionaries, encyclopedias, and and even there, as a man being single at that time, was like, wow, it's like the women, the way they were dressed. But
mm-hmm.
they were making their own clothes. And this
Yeah,
looked like just off a fashion runway show.
Right.
Okay. But then you look at the buildings and, the mortar shots and the bullet holes and the broken windows and no running water. And they're
Mm-hmm.
going down the street, walking kilometers to get the water and bring that back. And the translator that was working with me, it was taking me around and everything like that. The moment I got there, says, "You know what? I'm going to run you a bath." I said, "Oh, yeah, I'm not kind of used to that, but okay." And went walking down the street and come back with the big things of water and was heating up the water on the stove because
Right.
there was no water. There was no hot water. It was like, really?
Yeah.
And
I experienced very similar when I was in Iraq.
yeah,
I fought in OIF 1 and OIF 2 back in 2004, 2005 when it was going through the transition. And, I mean, I'm not going to get into the war riddled history of Iraq, but when we took over Kurdistan, the people there, they were so grateful for us. They were like, we haven't had access to free flowing water in 20 years. We haven't had access. Like, it's so hard. We have to walk a whole day to go get food. We have to do this. We have to, like, they loved that we came there. And there's such beautiful, resilient people. Like, they've lived
yeah,
like this for over
yeah.
20 years. And you sit there, and I'm going to tell you right now, I went over there as a 19-year-old girl. And I do say girl. I don't say woman. I was a girl when I went. And you see these things. And even at 19, like, it hit me, And look, I'm trying not to tear up right now because Iraq was a very
I'm
real
feeling
thing.
you.
It was,
I'm
yeah.
feeling you. Yeah.
Like, but these people, they're so amazing. And they sit there and they say, we want Americans here. We want them to be here because they want to be here, not because you have to be here, not because the bad things that are going on. Like, and then I got to go around and I got to go on so many different missions where I got to go see historic buildings, historic sightings, some of the castles, and, like, I mean, I got to go see a lot of stuff while I was there, and you see all of it, and you can tell the beauty that was in it.
Yeah.
But because the Taliban had come through and they shot everything up and they took things and they destroyed it. And I mean, I have pictures and I'll go look at them every once in a while, but the fact that this country went through so much, and I'm not just saying Iraq, and I know you're not just saying Ukraine, like all of these countries in the Middle East, Japan, like Germany, all of Europe, when they went through what they went through, like the fact that these countries, they go through what they go through, and people are resilient. We
Oh
are
yeah.
all resilient beings, and we're able to come through this.
Yeah, because now you're at the ground level. You're not at the
Right,
media level that says this is what's going on. No, you're at
right,
ground zero. And at
yeah,
ground zero, you're there with the people, the ones that are suffering. Okay. And you come in and you show something like that they haven't seen in 20 years. You've given them back water. Yeah,
yeah.
I saw children playing around with a tin can and they were happy.
Yeah,
Right?
I'm gonna tell you, like, I would come with apples and oranges. Like, it wasn't even candy. It was just apples and
Yeah,
oranges, like things that we go buy 10 of them at a time at the grocery store.
yeah, yeah,
And these kids, they would be so grateful. And,
yeah,
it was just amazing. You bring them bottles of water and they're just like, because I did a lot of humanitarian runs while I was there too.
yeah.
And I remember I would call home and my mom would be like, "Oh my gosh, I heard about this. I heard about that." And I'd be like, "What? Where did that happen?" I'm like, "Mom, stop watching the news."
Yeah,
you know?
news. North, east, west, south. A lot of people don't realize this. News. North, east, west, south.
I
It's a
never
controlled
realized that. Yes.
controlled media platform by the elitism. Okay?
Yes.
And so
Like,
they're taking north, east, west, south. So if I go into shamanism and I go into the four corners and I go into the knowings of the lands, north, east, west, south is how I flow with the seasons.
yeah.
But now they've taken news,
Yep.
controlling it from the four corners
Yes.
globally, and is now blanketed with all of the bullshit that's
Yeah.
got you blind. And not only
Exactly.
that, it's at a frequency of 440 hertz, which is now it's hitting the brain wave that is subliminally being programmed. So it is shoving this into your brain, into
Yep.
this program. And we're using this word in today's world. It's called be mindful. Be mindful.
Right.
What the fuck are you filling your mind with? All of the clutter, the whys, the what fors, the how comes, the poor me syndromes, the look at what's happening over here.
Mhm.
We're at the
That's why I don't
ground.
watch the news.
Yeah, I don't television.
I don't
Okay.
have a television either. I don't. I don't
Yeah,
do the news. News is low vibration. It's low frequency. I don't have nothing to do with it.
yeah,
I don't
and
have
and
time for it.
And it's like, okay, you know what? You want to sit there and watch your news, and I can go into
Mhm.
whole hours of stories, of
Do
that and
you
personal
know?
experiences, and it's like, nah, not for me, man.
So I went to school and I studied to be a psychologist. And one of the studies that I saw while I was going through my education is that people who watch local news, and I don't remember the exact percentages, but it was like a 10% more depressed than someone who doesn't watch news. People who
Hmm.
watch state news are like, it was like 15% more depressed than people who watch the local news. People who watch the US news, it was like a huge jump to like 45% more depressed than, you know what I mean? And then people who watch the world news, it was like a 70% more chance of depression. Like,
Yeah,
guys, get the hint. You get, the more you watch, the more you get depressed, the more it affects you, the more it brings the negative
and
frequencies into your body to control
depression
you.
is repressed emotions.
Right.
So you are repressing this being within you that is more open, because all of this up here, and now you're spinning around with all of the whys, the what fors, the how comes,
Mm-hmm.
analyzing, rationalizing, paralyzing.
Yeah.
Okay, analyze, ANAL. Where's your head? That's exactly where it is.
HIA syndrome.
HI. Oh man, am I getting flack from that one? You should see some of the shit that's coming for. It's like it's like you're judging me. No, I'm not. I'm calling it out. You're
Yeah.
coming in with a negative aspect. You're coming
Mm-hmm.
in with bullshit about politics,
Yeah.
religions, fear, and because you don't accept that I call it out, you think I'm judging you. No, you got an HIA syndrome. And that HIA syndrome is head in ass. Okay? Wake up.
Mm-hmm.
Get your head out of your ass. Okay?
Yep.
And someone said, well, you're judging. No, I'm not judging you. It belongs to you. That's your story.
Yeah.
Okay? You don't like what I have to say? You don't have to listen. So if you want to try and belittle it, you want to try and demean it, you know what? Okay? If I don't want to say it in words, I'm going to say it in a gesture. There it is. Okay? And people say, well, that's like, you're egotistical. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Backbone. My backbone is no bullshit policy. Simple as that.
Exactly.
And I won't tolerate it. And yeah, sometimes I can get a little
Yeah.
fired up.
I
Okay.
mean, we can. Like you say, it's the dragon in us.
Oh yeah, but what do you want me to do? Come and say, "Oh, it's also okay. It's okay. You can be like that."
Yeah.
It's like I'll let
Let's
you be.
coddle.
Let's cuddle up and say, "Okay, I'll validate you." Fuck you. Sorry, that's
Look, I'm
spontaneous.
telling you. Listen, I know you talk to Kevin, Mary. They will tell you. Christina will come up in a video call so quick, and I'll be like, "What the fuck is going on right now?" And they'll be like, "Christina, what's really going on?" And I'm like, "I'm just letting it out. Just let me be."
Yeah, and to go into this HIA story, like a beautiful woman, beautiful. I mean, like, okay, I can go into a whole other story in this one. Okay, but she brought this out. Her name's April, and
Mhm.
she brought this up one evening in a live and said HIA. And it's like, what the hell's an HIA? And she explained it, and it has gone. Now it's becoming a trend. It's actually, people are actually using this, and we've even got a piece of music that was done by Lindsay Stores, who is an international
Oh,
recording
yes.
artist. She masked her voice because she didn't want. She's a little timid, right? Okay, but this song is just like, it nails it. You got your head in the acid. It's like, here it is. So rather than sometimes engaging with them directly, now we've got this jingle.
Yeah.
It's a nice little beat. You got your head in your ass. It's like, oh. And you should see some of the messages that I get afterwards. It's like,
So,
are you really that daft?
Gary, you're going to have to ask Kevin to give you a copy of the song that Mary and I asked him to make. This was several, probably almost a year ago now.
Okay.
We were doing karaoke in a TikTok live, and he says, "Any requests?" And I said, and Mary backed me up on this. I said, "Hey, can you do a song about no fucks given?"
Uh-oh. Yeah,
He said, he
I can
said,
just see the online world going. Uh.
he said, uh, let me see what I can make tonight, and I'll get it to you guys tomorrow. I wake up the next morning, Gary, and I'm tagged in a TikTok post, and I'm like, "What is Kevin tagging me?" Because he didn't tag me in stuff that much at that point.
Yeah.
I said, "What is Kevin tagging me in?" And I open it, and it's like, "No fucks given. There's no fucks left to buy. No fucks." And I'm like, I was like, Kevin Emery, I love you right now.
Yeah. Unbelievable. And
So you got to check it out.
sometimes that's the best way to defeat. Like, I've actually found that because of April and that phrase, I have now using this as a tool. And
Yes.
when I get in face to face with somebody who is just got that HIA syndrome, I say, "Excuse me," and they'll keep going. I go, "Excuse me."
Yeah.
"Excuse me, you are having an HIA moment." And they go, "Huh?" And I go, "Yeah, I'm going to step outside and get some fresh air because it's getting rather stinky in here."
So look,
There's
I
a
don't know if
3-second window. Boom, I'm out.
I don't know if you're paying attention to the comments in the YouTube side.
I can't see the
Okay,
comments.
so I'm going to pull a couple up, and you're going to laugh at this. So, so Tess Jordan, she said, "My mom calls this optical rectilitis. Head so far up your own ass, all you can see is shit." Then I got Lori. Listen,
optical
Lori.
rectilitis. Okay, there's one.
Lori Sue, this is my girl right here. I love her so much. She says, "No wonder I'm visually impaired, Tess."
Yeah, it's just like you got your head so deep up there, it's really dark, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh my goodness, look at that special guest in the house, Greg Ogles from Relic Films. How are you doing, my friend? I'm so glad to see you here.
Sorry.
Greg Ogles. No, you're good. This is one of my good friends here. His name is Greg Ogles. He owns Relic Films, and he just had a movie come out on January 2nd. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm in the middle of my show, but I'm going to plug him real quick. Y'all can go see his new movie. It's out everywhere, so go look him up. Okay, you're welcome, Greg.
Okay. I just don't. People say, "Gary, have you seen that?" No, I haven't. Okay.
Yeah.
You want to talk about Avatar? Yeah, I've seen Avatar. I've watched Avatar. I don't know how many times. There are certain things that I will watch, but you know what? Anything else? No.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I watch movies with my daughter, but
what's wrong with that? You're
yeah,
sitting having you're having a chill moment with a loved one, and it's a good film. Like, you're not watching Freddy Krueger.
Right.
My brother, fuck, that'll just hit me with a memory. My brother, with my son, way back, my brother was babysitting, and decided, my son's 7 years old, and he watched Freddy Krueger. My son had nightmares for months afterwards. It's like, what the?
My daughter was on the school bus, and somebody told her about Pennywise, and so now,
for God's sakes, really?
I literally, while she was here for the last couple weeks, she was laying in bed. She's like, "I can see his eyes in the air vents," and I literally had my dad crawl up in the attic, bang around in the attic, make some noise, come back down, and go, "I got him, Hannah. It's okay, I got him," so she could go to sleep. I was like, seriously, who was telling my child about this? Like, why?
I'm going to call it out for what it is. Okay, I'm trying to be polite about this.
I mean, if she's on the bus with a bunch of other 5-6-year-olds, like, how are these kids knowing about it? I don't understand it.
So I'm going to call this out. I don't think the majority of the people are watching this, but the ones that are going to see this, I'm going to call it out for what it is. To any fucking parent out there that is putting their child in front of a fucking television and letting them watch this shit, you need a fucking reality check.
Right.
Okay? And that is the ickiest thing that anybody can do, to allow a child to watch some shit like this.
Yeah.
Okay? It's the same thing what's happening in the school systems with this trans thing. Okay? And forcing this onto a child. This is absolutely bullshit.
There is a town that is close to me, and I live in Texas. For those of y'all that don't know, I feel like most of my audience knows where I live, but so I live in Texas, and there's a town that's close to me, and they had a family move there from California, and it's a little itty bitty town. I mean, I live in small town Texas. This family went to the school board meeting and asked them to please make special whatever in the classroom for their child, that their cat, or excuse me, that their child identified as a cat, so it needed a
Huh?
litter box in the classroom.
What? No.
Yeah, they brought that to the school board, and I was like, are people getting this serious right now? Like,
Huh? Let me let me just get a grasp on this.
yeah,
This is that
it took me a
these
minute too.
parents these parents are allowing their child to identify as a cat and
Mm-hmm.
needs a litter box so
Mm-hmm.
that they can go to the washroom in the classroom in a
Mm-hmm.
litter box.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck are they smoking?
That's what I asked.
Like
Yeah. Look, we got someone over here saying
I'm trying to get.
mine watched Mr. Rogers and Bob Ross. Look, I watched Mr. Rogers too. I loved him.
I watch. You know
A
what? There was
typical day
there.
in the neighborhood, y'all.
Hey, I've got a story for that. I don't know if anybody remembers a program called Mr. Dress Up.
I don't
Okay,
remember that.
so
Mm-mm.
it goes back to the '60s. Okay, and Mr. Dress Up had a stuffed lion.
Right.
Okay, and it was okay. Children could send in a name. Okay, I actually won that. Okay, and so it
Really.
was called the stuffy was called Mr. Lion. So I named it Mr. Lion. So
Hmm.
Mr. Dress Up, it was all about little stuffies and puppets and things like this. This is what I was watching as a child. And I'm
Right.
talking to people and family. They're like watching Freddy Krueger and Halloween and like, huh?
Yeah.
Like now it's like somebody wants their child to associate like a cat or a litter box.
Yep.
What's in your water?
Yeah.
Like
Pretty
serious.
much. Like, I mean, I 100% agree. Um, I
Freedom.
I don't even know what to say about it.
I got one word for it: mind fuckery.
Yeah.
Mind fuckery. It's total mind fuckery. It is. There's no way around that. It's just total mind fuckery. It's
Hmm.
like, excuse me, really? No, you know what? This is what I would say. Your child should be taken away from you, and you two should be put into an institute to figure out what the hell's going on up here. And that child needs to be deprogrammed so that they can learn to live a normal life, rather than thinking about what are they going to go through an operation and
Right.
have hair transplants, and next thing you know, I'm going to
Right.
go around and go, "Purr, purr." Can I have some catnip, please? Like, really?
Oh my goodness. Look, I just read this comment that's over here. And I'm just going to put this out there real quick too. Like my daughter, she's 5. She comes running through the house one day. She says, "I'm the king of the world." And my dad goes, "No, sweetie, you're the queen." And I said, "She's a king today. Just let her be a king. She's in her masculine energy. It's okay." But I know that appeasing that for a 5-year-old, like that's not going to make it to where I'm going to be like, "Oh my gosh, let's go change your gender." Like, you know what I mean? Like she's a 5-year-old. She's
Oh,
having an
that
imagination.
that that's Pandora's box.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
we get in this is Pandora's box. Okay, and I mean, I'm pretty outspoken on it. I don't care what you do behind your private doors. I don't care,
Yeah.
but do not throw it in my face and say that I have to address myself as a label, as a cis man, or this or
Right.
that. No,
Right.
your bottom line is this: you're born one way, you'll die that way, no matter what the hell you've done to your body. And 1 million years from now, they will dig you up, and you will be either a male or a female. Okay,
Yeah.
if you have some implants in you, well, guess what? Those implants will show up, and the archaeologist is going to go, "What the hell is this?" Okay,
Yeah.
like, wake up. You
Here's
know
a
what?
comment for you, Gary. I identify with a sloth. Lori, I love you, sweetie.
Identify the slot. It's like somebody asking me, like, Gary, how old are you? I'm ageless. Okay, what do you mean
Right.
ageless? I mean, I'm ageless.
I go
Okay,
around the earth, but this number does not affect me.
yeah, it's like, or somebody asking, what do you identify as? Like, excuse me, can you not see?
Yeah.
Or
So
or or somebody saying, "Oh, Gary, are you Muslim?" Excuse
it,
me,
yeah,
where do
you're
you get
fine.
that shit from? It's like,
Uh, So let me tell you something, and I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to put this other comment up here real quick, and then
Okay.
it's going to kind of go into where this name right here comes from. Okay,
Witchy.
Witchy.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's go.
So Xamphios said, when I was in school, we had parents who tried to get rid of Disney, get it banned because it had talking animals. It was obviously witchcraft. LOL. Let me tell you something. I remember
I talk to animals.
when that was going on. I talk to animals now because it's a gift that's given when you live within your higher consciousness.
I
But
talk to plants too.
the name All Witchy right here, it comes from all stands for always lead with love. And anyone who's been here more than once, you know that's how I end every podcast. Witchy, I put that there because when people see witchy, they got to comment, they got to say something, they got to do something. It's a conversation starter. Now
Yeah.
you're talking to me. Now I've got you reeled in enough to where you're going to listen. And I'm going to be able to help you see the change of that we're all equal, that we're all the same. It doesn't matter blood, creed, gender, religion. It doesn't matter. We're all the same.
Yeah.
We all bleed red. We're all on earth for the human experience. We're
Yeah.
all here to go through the school of emotion. And let's hit on this real quick, if you don't mind, Gary. We're here for the school of emotion. Let's talk about people that have to go through karmic life cycles, and we have to come and we have to go to earth again. Our soul comes back because we don't take the time to
Fragment
sit
of your
within
soul.
self. Yes, we don't take the time to sit within ourselves in this lifetime and learn the lessons that are meant to be learned.
Yep. Yep. See, I have my viewpoint on that. My viewpoint is that the only karmic contract that I have is with my soul.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. So my soul has taken a fragment and said, you're going to come back, you're going to have another experience because this is what I want. I want to have that experience. I didn't learn enough the first time around. So I'm going to take a part of my soul and boom, here I am. Okay. That's the only contract I have. Not a committee that's up there and saying, well, you know what, you didn't learn this and you signed this and you know what, so we're going to throw you back. Like there's so much bullshit out there. It's unbelievable. Okay. And there's a reason why I call myself Gaia's alchemist.
Mm-hmm.
Alchemist, alchemy. Okay.
Yes.
And people think alchemy is, well, you turn lead into gold. Like,
not always.
You know what? You take a piece of bread. In fact, take some flour, make some bread. That's alchemy. Take that bread slice, put it into a toaster. That's alchemy. Now take that toasted piece of bread, put some butter on it. That's alchemy. Now put some peanut butter on it. And there's now we got peanut butter and jam. Now we've got some real magic going here. It's like, wow, we went from flour to peanut butter and jam, and it's like, oh, what's going on inside my mouth? There's alchemy.
Right.
Alchemy is anything that we can do to, if I pick something up, that's inertia. Okay. I pick something up. There's an alchemical inertia in that. So it's changed from what it was.
Yep.
If I put it back to the same place, it's not in the same place. And somebody said, well, hold on a second. You put it identically back to the same. No, that table evolved. So it's not in the same place. My energy touched it. It's not the same thing anymore. It's embedded with part of my energy.
That's the part that we need to have everybody understand, though, that everything is energy. Everything is source. Like I personally teach people, I speak through source, right? It's an energy entity is what I call source. But the simple fact of the matter is I pick up this cell phone, it's energy. I pick up this deck of tarot cards, it's energy. I tap this table, it's energy. This microphone I'm speaking, it's all energy. It all transmutes.
3 things. Tesla said it. You want to understand the universe? Energy, frequency, and vibration. Understand what energy, frequency, and vibration is. Power of 3. Understand what body, mind, and spirit is. Power of 3. Energy, frequency, vibration. Energy, frequency, vibration. What I say is energy, frequency, and vibration. I can't change it. I've released it. So if I've said something to you that is wrongful, and then I realize it was wrongful, and I come back and I say, I'm sorry, the sorry doesn't cut it.
Yeah.
Is like, no, learn from that mistake and don't repeat that mistake. If I repeat that same mistake, I haven't learned anything. That means now I'm in ego. Okay. I'm in that program and I'm like, keep on doing it. So not only am I harming somebody in my pathway, I'm also in self-sabotage. I'm sabotaging myself rather than learning from the mistake and moving on and saying, I forgive myself for the mistake.
Yes.
Okay. If somebody said, well, you have to forgive everybody. Really?
And I know you and I actually had this conversation the other night, and it's
Yeah.
about them forgiving themselves. The forgiveness
Yep.
that's within us is for our own good. It's for
Yep.
ourselves.
Yep.
It's not
There's
about anybody but me.
yeah, and that's not ego, and that's not being
No.
self-centered. No, the power of the Ho'oponopono prayer is understanding forgiveness is that I forgive myself. I love myself.
Right.
Okay. And in forgiving myself, I am healing. I am growing. I
Exactly.
am evolving. In
Right.
forgiving somebody else, yes, I do forgive you. Like this
Mhm.
2 words: forgive. I give back what no longer belongs to me. That is
That's right.
your mistake. That is
Mhm.
for you to learn from. And it doesn't belong to me. It's not my story. It's your
Exactly.
fucking story.
Yes.
Learn from it. Don't
Yes. Look.
accept me and say, you
Yes.
know what? Don't accept me and say, hey, you know what? Excuse me, you cut my finger off, and it's yeah, I forgive you. Fuck you. You know what? I'm missing a finger. I got to live with this the rest of my life. Why
Right.
should I? Why should I forgive you? Say, well,
And
yeah,
my
okay,
insurance company says a finger is only worth $10,000. Like that $10,000 isn't going to make up for the work that I can't do anymore.
yeah,
If you cut
because
my
you know,
pinky toe
well,
off, they say it's
well,
worth
I
five
can get.
thousand. I don't have balance anymore.
I can get real sarcastic. Say, excuse me, I have to learn all over again how to pick my nose because I'm missing my picker nose. Oh God.
um, Look, Gary, I'm going to tell you right now, we're at the top of our hour, but if you don't mind going on with the conversation a little bit longer, I'm so happy to do it. My family
Uh,
is enjoying the heck out of you. Maybe get like 15 more minutes out of you
Yeah,
because
well, take 15 more minutes, and then you know what?
all
I
right.
come back on at 9:30. We're doing a chakra shake tonight. You don't know what a chakra shake is? You come on in for some high vibrational music because I'm an old
Yes.
school. I've done many things. I'm an old
So
school DJ, so it's like you know what? I'm going to take you through music that's going to take you up on a journey and back down on a journey. So that's at 9:30. So yeah, I would take some more time if you want to. I've had lots of
There
coffee.
was a bunch of questions, or well, a bunch
Yeah,
of comments and questions, and I kind of just want to go through them and touch on them real
sure,
quick. I
sure.
normally do that for my family in the last 15 minutes so that they can be
Yeah,
seen and heard. Um, there was a couple of people over on my TikTok. They're talking about how yes, that's centering from self, not self-centered. It's not with an ego. I've got people over there talking about how they're an empath and they
yeah.
they feel all the energy. And I mean, yeah, you came to the right place. Hello, welcome to Cristina, a Witchy, and Gaiasalchemist. That's what we
Hey,
do.
welcome to life, people. You know, it's like life, living in frequent evolution, LIFE, living
Yes,
in frequent evolution. You're an empath. Welcome to the family.
that's right. And honestly,
You're a witch. Welcome
an
to the family.
empath is literally something that every single human being can be and can feel. It's just a matter of
Yeah, yeah,
learning to accept that frequency. Kevin
yeah.
Emery.
Some of us are
Oh no, go ahead. I'll ask the question once you get done.
okay. I always say, what was your most awakening moment? Is
Yep,
that to me
that's
or to
Kevin's asking you. He said, "What was your most awakening moment?"
when I took my first breath coming out of my mother's
Oh
womb?
my gosh, I got a funny story for you about that. My
Okay, and somebody's go, well, what do you mean by that? I'm going to expand upon that. I remember, I mean, truthfully, I remember being in my mother's womb. I remember floating. I remember that push. Like there's a
yeah,
memory. We all have this memory. Okay. And I remember the very first thing was that I'm fucking cold. That was my awakening moment. The first breath I took. There's my awakening moment because now I'm breathing. It's like, there it is. We all have that memory. So that was my first awakening moment. If you want to expand onto a spiritual awakening moment, I'd say my first near death experience at the age of 9 years old. Because crossing over and going through what I went through and coming back and still to this day cold is a trigger for me.
yeah,
Well, you know what? You fall through freezing ice in the middle of in Celsius -30 and you freeze and you get dragged home like an ice cube, you'll understand why I don't like cold.
yeah,
It's like, I'm sorry. It's like, I like, no, I can focus out of it, but I don't like cold. That's it. It's just like, excuse me.
yeah, yeah. I get it. All right. So we got. First, we were talking about speaking to animals, and Tess said, I talk to my
Yeah.
dogs and other animals all the time. I talk to my plants, especially food plants. My cherry tomatoes thrived until December 1st when we had a hard freeze. Yes, energy cannot be destroyed, it cannot be created, but it can be transmuted. And we do it with everything.
I talked to my
Yeah.
plant. Okay. And I showed this last night. Two identical plants like this, bought at the same time, same size. The other one looks like it's having a hard time to survive. And this one's
Yeah.
thriving. There's no windows where it is, but there's something else in it, a copper coil. Okay. And I went in to explain that a little bit. And so copper grounding, it's clearing. And this plant is got, there's no leaves falling off of it. It's
Yeah.
happy. Okay. And I speak to it. I got a little heart on there. It says special friend.
Aw.
So there it is. So yeah, I talk to plants. You think I'm crazy? Good. I would rather be crazy than be
I
like
talk to
everybody
him,
else.
sing to
Say,
him,
no, I'm not
everything.
talking to that.
Let me see. Another one that she had put on here, and it was kind of a whole conversation that was going on in the chat. She said, speaking is a powerful tool. If you speak positivity, all life will understand. And then Lori had said something to the effect of, I don't use the terms of positivity and negativity anymore because I feel like what's positive to one might not be positive to the other and vice versa. And so Tess came back.
That's their problem.
And Tess came back and said, okay, so if you speak love, the life around you will thrive. I love that we have that going on in the comments.
Love, LOVE, let others voluntarily evolve. LOVE.
I love that. Look, you're like the military. You got an acronym for everything.
Oh yeah.
Let me see. We got another one from Tess. I've learned forgiveness doesn't mean you have to forget or even continue a relationship. It just means you've no longer expecting an apology.
Yeah, one off the apology doesn't cut it. You made the mistake, learn from it.
Yeah.
I have to apologize to myself for maybe allowing myself to have walked into that situation that if I was more aware, I wouldn't have walked into that situation. So, it's not about the apology. Somebody come back, like I said earlier, somebody come back, cut my finger. Your apology doesn't cut it. Learn from it.
Honestly, that's the truth. You started talking about having the copper in your plant, and Julie Jules, hey, beautiful, thank you for coming in here. She said, I bought a glass bottle water, or excuse me, I bought a glass bottle for my water and wrapped copper wire around the bottom. And I even speak positivity into my food and my water now.
Water holds memory. Dr. Himosho has proven this. Okay, so if you don't know who Dr. Himoto is, look this up. Okay, and he takes water, puts an image, places it on top of it, and puts it into a cryo freeze. And you look at the freezing pattern in that water, and then you look at that picture.
Yeah.
How is that possible? Water is life. So it has memory, it holds memory. And I say the same thing. When you drink, you speak to your water. Okay? Speak to it with kindness. And as you're going to drink it, you're drinking the memory that it contains, the kindness, the love, gratitude. Practice gratitude.
I have a comment on TikTok. It just made me laugh. I mean, it's not funny, but it's funny. Vo Cristo, he said he is amazing, and they drown his research. No pun intended. Yeah, we were talking about water, and
yeah. A lot of things have been removed from us in understandings and knowledges. Right. Okay, the Tartarian, the technology, copper, free energy. And so many other things. If I get into a lot of it, we'll be here for next 24 hours.
Well, I did ask you for a couple more minutes. I got a couple more minutes. It looks like I got through all the comments and the questions. I want to announce to this beautiful family, starting tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. I do believe that is 6 p.m. Pacific. So many time zones. We hate time zones, but we got to get all those numbers out. Gary is going to be hosting the Heartfire Chronicles podcast with Elevate Souls Productions. So I hope y'all can come out and join him tomorrow night and give him a big, humongous welcome to the family find out what he's doing. Gary, do you want to give them a little teaser of what you're doing with the Heartfire Chronicles?
Wow, where do I begin? Let me explain a little bit more about what Heartfire is, so you can kind of see where the Heartfire Chronicles, really how it began. And I've been doing this for about 6 years. Started off on Facebook, Heartfire Community, Heartfire. The Heartfire is the ember here, the ember within our heart. And I believe in dragons. You think I'm crazy? Fine. Okay, so it's a dragon fire. Ignite that ember, passion, love, kindness, and allow the heart to see. So the Heartfire Chronicles is a chronicled exploration of evolution. How are we evolving? Allowing ourselves to understand vulnerabilities, real truths, understanding what it is to be authentic, rather than being blind. So in the Heartfire Chronicles podcast, which is going to take on a more expansive approach, I'm going to be talking about some things that are going to be quite mind-blowing and quite truthful. I'll be talking about children and what's happening to the children in the world. I'll be talking about the political structures and what's underneath the political structures. I'll be talking about things that you might not want to hear, but it's time that we see this and understand it. Because if we want to come together for a better world, not just for ourselves, but for the children of today and the children of tomorrow, we need to come together as one people. Regardless of age, gender, color, creed, culture, language, or walk of life, we are one people. I don't see your color. I could care less. I don't see your religions. I could care less.
Yeah.
I see a human or a being having a human experience. You have an energetic capacity to you that's 99% of who you are. Your vessel is 1%. This is your image. This is your avatar. And I'm going to help you through philosophies, ancestral wisdoms, knowledges, understanding a little bit about plant medicines, about the world, about Gaia, the cosmic threads, how to access the celestial web of all knowledges, how to channel yourself versus run after a fucking tarot reader that says, can
I'm
you
offended.
tell me what my future is? I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding. I don't take offense to things.
It's what I mean by that is.
I do, but I'll let you explain for them.
I think you know where I'm coming from.
I do, because I hate a lot of them myself.
Yeah, I use cards.
I do too. I use them to show what I already am seeing.
Yeah, and all I do is I print up one card. What do you see?
Yeah.
Okay, and if I do a one-on-one consultation with you, and you're going to come to me and ask me what my future is, I might see what your future has the potential to be. But I'm not going to tell you.
That's the part where I tell people we have free will and we have the ability to change that. I'm not going to give you an expectation.
Yeah. Like I could see tomorrow. Like let's go into that just a little bit. Okay? So let's say I see that you've asked me, am I going to get married? Okay, I can see that. Yes, it is there. But it's an unknown path. It is not written in stone.
Right.
There is all sorts of potentials that can alter that path. So if I was to tell you precisely, you ask me if I'm going to get married tomorrow, you're going to get married on this date. What happens if you wake up tomorrow morning and you walk out your front door and you get hit by a bus? Okay, are you going to come back and say, oh, well, Gary, you told me I'm going to get married. Now I can't get married because I'm a quadriplegic. Then you end up blaming me because I told you something.
Yeah.
I'm not there to tell you what your future is, but I am there to bring you into absolute presence so that you can see yourself.
Yep.
Okay, if you call me a healer, I'm not a healer. I'm a curator. I curate a story. I tell a story. I can be anything you want me to be, but I know who I am. And so the Heartfire Chronicles is about coming back to acknowledging who you are, taking your backbone back, taking your power back, and understanding that we are connected as one people. And that is the only way that we will change the world into what it was to be and what it was always meant to be. Our ancestors knew this. Okay? And I'm very firm
Yeah.
on that. Okay. Very, very firm because I connect into all sorts of channels. Okay. Don't, then let's not go into that because we'll be here for a couple
Right.
more hours. Point is, okay, join the Heartfire Chronicle podcast on Thursday and watch where it's going to
Yeah.
go. You may not like it. Doesn't belong to me. The ones that will, we're the ones that are going to rise together in the higher
Exactly.
vibration, the higher consciousness, understanding what God consciousness is. It's within me.
Yes.
It's not in a fucking
That's right.
church. Okay. And it's not being fearful. It's about being
Yep.
powerful and coming together and acknowledging our skills together as one and building a better world.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I love it.
And lots of other surprises.
It's kind of like the Cristina show over here at No Coincidences. Show up. I'm probably going to surprise you. Okay. I'm just saying. He's a lot like me.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, this man, he's been in my life for a very short time, but he's already helped me grow. I wasn't one to sit here and say, I believed in dragons per se. Like, I believe in dragons, but I didn't believe like I had a dragon with me. And I hung up the phone with him one night and he said, "Go let the fiery dragon out." And I was like, huh?
Yeah.
And like 2 nights later, I had a dream about a beautiful dragon. She's red. And boy, she's fiery just like me, okay? I'm just saying. So go learn
Just
something.
to add, yeah, just to add to dragons, is that don't think that a dragon is what you see on television and Dungeons and Dragons
Right.
and monsters and things like this. You know that the word dinosaurs, before we used dinosaurs, we actually called them dragons?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was changed in history. That's a story I'll go into in the Heartfire Chronicles. But everywhere throughout history, there's symbols of dragons, paintings. A gargoyle's not a monster. It's another form of dragon. In the Vatican, the Holy Door is sealed with dragon symbols. Why is a dragon symbol there? If it was fantasy, why would a dragon symbol be used as a guardian?
Yes.
Dragons are guardians. They're an ancient spirit. Very, very powerful, powerful celestial spirit. And we can connect into them and find our own personal dragon. You can name that dragon anything you want. They're okay with it. You know what? They like eating flowers. Don't feed them. You know, they don't like cheesecake.
I'm just going to say this.
And that comes from one.
I'm going to do my dragon like I do my angels that hang out with me. I sit down, I meditate, I put my hand out, I say, "Can we connect?" I let them connect with me energetically, and I say, "What's your name?" "Hi, it's nice to meet you."
Yeah. Yeah. You know, treat them with reverence. Don't treat them with stupidity. Okay. You know, believe me, and how many children are drawing pictures of dragons today? The indigos. Okay. How many of you have had a dream somewhere about a dragon? You know, it's a spirit.
Yeah.
It's a spiritual energy. It's connected to an energetic thread. It's called the celestial energetic web, celestial web of existence, which is based upon unconditional universal love. And if you want to know more about dragons, join me in the live tonight. I'm going to take you on a guided meditation, and I'll introduce you to Rhaedora, Soltarius, and Luna. So, Gary, you mentioned the live tonight. Tell people where they can find you other than on Elevate Souls and on YouTube. Get me on TikTok. Okay, follow me on TikTok, and if you think that TikTok's going to go away, it ain't going away. Join me on TikTok tonight at 9:30, which is what time? So you got it. It's almost 8. It's 8:17 my time. So in 1 hour from now, join me, Gaiasalchemist. There's only one of me. Watch out. There's lots of copycats all over the place, you guys. We're trying to get them. Yeah. Okay. Join me. Come on in for some. I got some powerful music for you. You want to know what a chakra shake is? Come on in and shake that shit. Go experience the chakra shake. It's amazing. You come in, he's got the music up high beat, happy. We're all dancing, and then all of a sudden he brings it down. We're serious, and we're like, ooh, it's great. Yeah. Make sure you got headsets. Perfectly. You know, if you don't have headsets, if you got a Bluetooth speaker, crank that fucking thing up. You know what? Let's rattle the bones. Okay. It's fun. Shake up those bones. Shake up that physical. And you'll understand that chakra shake is we're getting rid of the heavy energies. If you like dancing, okay, I don't know anybody that really doesn't like dancing. Even if you say you can't dance, you can still tap.
You can sit there and
You
you can
know,
move in your
get into
chair.
the flow of it. Okay, and I'll help you. And you might see
Are
me
you going
doing
to
a
teach
lot of
them how
things
to
like
weave
this with my
energy?
hands. Yeah, I'm going to teach you how to weave. In fact, this is weaving. This is not
Yes,
dancing.
that's
This is
weaving,
weaving.
guys.
Okay, okay. And so we can weave in the physical as much as we can weave in the visual of within our mind space. Okay, so come on in and join me on the Heartfire Chronicles tonight. I'm going to
Yes.
rattle you a little.
Gary, I thank you so much for joining me on my podcast. I thank you for letting me introduce you to my family. I hope they get to come and have as much enjoyment out of your podcast as I have had out of your TikTok lives. With that being said,
Let's rock it.
yes, let's rock it. With that being said, family, thank you so much for saving space for us tonight and spending time with us. As always, make sure you go out into this beautiful world that we live in. Always lead with love. And don't forget, nothing ever happens to you, it happens for you. I hope you all have a blessed evening. Bye, guys.
Namaste.